Welcome back to another episode of Home Built by Howard. This week, or this episode, we are going to get the rust from under the rear spoiler here, and we're also going to do the repairs on the rear spoiler.
360, 75 hours, 10-6.
So if you're new here, this is my TR6 Restomod project where I'm taking all the internals from a BMW 135 and stuffing them into this body of a TR6 along with a custom chassis. So last episode we got the body for the first time by itself on the rotisserie. Okay, we did a lot of welding, and we also ground all the loose rust and surface rust off the bottom of the car, or most of it, except for the part that we're doing today. So anyway, thanks for sticking around. Hit the like, subscribe, notification, make comments. Love to hear what you have to say. Let me know what I'm doing right or wrong, and yeah, let's tuck into this and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so the underside here, as well as in here, right, between the floor of the trunk and the inner rear spoiler is rusty. I got to figure out how the hell I'm going to get in there. It is really tight, as you can see. It's like, I can get one finger in there and it goes to a point. So I'll probably end up having to do some sandblasting in there, which we all know is just going to add to the nightmare that's on the floor of the sanding we did. I tried to get in here the best I can. I'm going to get in there with wire brush, loosen stuff off as best I can. I'm just going to use some of that rust converter and then some kind of a sealer or something like that. The other thing we need to do is we need to repair this still. And I wasn't able to get to this when I had the chassis in and, left it for now. So we're going to tuck into that. And then I just noticed there's a little dent right in here. It's hard to see. But that needs to be knocked out. And, of course, you can't get to it from the inside of the trunk. So that's going to be fun to mess with as well. But yeah, let's see. Not sure. I don't know whether I want to, sand first or whether I want to cut first. I think cutting's probably going to be what we'll do. So let's cut these out and make some patch panels and get them welded into place. time I go to show you something, I got to turn off my music. All right. So what I've done now is I've got all these little itty bitty patches here. You know, there's a whole stack of holes that are just easier to get from the bottom. Ooh, hey, a big ugly fly. What kind of fly is that? Does anyone recognize that little fly? Yeah, it's fuzzy, whatever it is. Looks like a bee, but it's not a bee. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to weld those little patches in all over the place and hopefully not zap the fly. Well, we have got all of the little holes fixed in the bottom of this. We'll likely find more, but the ones I was able to find, we fixed. And I've given it a wire wheel and a cleaning with brake fluid and or brake cleaner, I should say, not brake fluid. So yeah, wax and grease remover. So basically, we are going to throw some of this rust encapsulator or whatever it's called. This stuff, the rust converter. So we're gonna spray some of that on, and yeah, we'll go from there. I almost forgot to mention, if you don't have one of these, they just pop onto the top of a spray can and just make it so that it's easy to spray. I'll show you how it goes on. Yeah, I've had this thing forever, and you know, it just makes life easy because you just pop it in like that, and you got a spray can, and now you can just spray, which is kind of nice. So, it's clear. That I was not expecting. I probably should put on a mask, don't you think? Okay, just gonna talk with my mask on. Let's see if I can talk a little bit clearer. So it's turning a nice purple color. You know, just I guess let me know where there's rust and etc. But it looks like the rust is encapsulated. So might need to put a second coat in a couple places. But I'm going to call this a win right now. So I'm going to get out of the garage for a while, let this air out. Yeah. All right then. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off these support brackets here, top and bottom, because if you remember, what I want to do is I want to run a piece of tube here and then diagonally this way, right underneath where the seat's going to mount at the back. The frame already covers the inner ones, which is good, but I need for there, then I'll need a piece for the front seat, and then I'm going to run diagonally to the frame again. So what I want to do is I want to cut these off while I can, while it's easy to get at them. And yeah, and then we're getting pretty close to, I guess, putting this back onto the the frame. Yeah, let's just do that. Alrighty, so we got. Oh, hang on, I got it. Was like. Okay. So that was like an hour and a half worth of work to get this back on the rotisserie. So yeah, so everything it's level now. I know I can rotate it. It I know it doesn't look level because it's the body's not, but the rotisserie is, so it'll rotate. So I got that sorted out. So what I did, I forgot that these were offset. So I'm missing the holes there. And also this here is actually a bit too long. I've got a bit of a gap in here, but more importantly, the body needs to move forward in order to line up with those holes on both sides, all four. So it's got to come about a quarter inch. Yeah, it's not much. It's about a quarter inch forward, if that. So I'll trim off a quarter inch from those. That way I can slide the body forward and that'll be the perfect place. Now, I just wanted to dry fit because it's getting late and this piston loses pressure, so I can't leave the body just hanging. So it's just sitting there, until I can get back to it. But what I'm going to do next is I'll be taking the body off again because I need to shorten those pieces, but that'll also give me the opportunity to grind down the top of the frame under the body anywhere where it's going to be touching. And to spray it with the rust encapsulator, or the rust converter, I should say. And that way I can then get to mounting this body permanently to this frame. And once I've done that, I'm going to be pretty happy. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. I haven't decided whether I'm, whether I'm going to try and, weld plates on in here just to cover things, or whether I'm just going to do some brackets and then use some what's it called, panel gap sealer in between. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Once I get this, at least tacked into place, we'll have to do those outriggers that run underneath here for the seat rails and also for welding, because then I can weld right to the sills, which is something I definitely want to be able to do. So anyway, that's where we're at. Let's move forward. right, now that we've got this car back up on the rotisserie mounted onto the frame, as you can see, I fixed these. I got the offset right, and now everything's held in place. I shortened these pieces here so the body is moved forward, and as you can see here, everything is lined up beautifully. Now what I did is I just mounted it using the inside nuts, so that way I can cut the outer, I can cut the outer part of that flange off, right? And I'm just gonna rotate this up. Oops, wrong direction. Let's go this way. All right, let's get underneath here and show you. Right? So that way, what I can do is I can actually cut these here, clean this up, and I can actually run my pieces across, right? So I have marks on the inside of the car for where the seats are supposed to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a very small hole, putting holes in the floor that I just fixed. I'm going to put a really small hole where the seats are supposed to go. That way I can see where I need to put my pieces, and we're going to tack those into place because in order to weld the top part of them here against the frame, etc., I will have to take the body off the car again. Either way, I also, I'm thinking that what I'll likely want to do is properly seal, with a rubberized undercoating between the top of the frame and the underside of the car. Anywhere where it's kind of sandwiched like this, I might want to do that. So either way, the body's going to have to come off, but I want to get that done next before we move on to the front suspension. All right, so I put the seat in place there. You saw me do that, and what I did was I marked the center of this hole here, so the seat's right up against there. I've got some clearance at the side here. I marked the center of that hole using a Sharpie because I could reach it, and I did the same on this one at the front. And then what I did is I marked the center line of the front and back of the inside rail, and I marked the center line of this, and then working from this hole using a square and measuring the holes on the seat, I was able to position the individual holes and get everything where I want it. So those things line up to, like almost spot on to my original markings from way back when that I still had. There was a little bit of adjustment because we were able to shove the seat further over when we made some adjustments to it. So that's why my seat mark here is a little bit different. But what I'm going to do is I'm only going to put a small hole in each of the locations. That way, that'll give me enough to know where I need to put my support rails or my support rail here, as well as I'll be able to punch for my my screws, and that gives me enough sort of play to be able to adjust things a little bit later on. So, anyways, let's give these a punch, a drill, and transfer the measurements to the other side of the car. Okay, so here we have one hole here, which is what we expected. One here, which we expected. One straight across from that is going to end up right in this big heavy rail, which is why we put it here. We put this rail in place, here, not only for the transmission tunnel, but also because we wanted the seat to actually go there. Oh, yeah, well, okay. Well, just kind of missed it, right? there. So we're gonna have to do something here, and of course the one on the bottom, like that one on the bottom, it figures. It's like right against the edge of the rail. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh well, whatever's whatever. So yeah, we're just gonna we're gonna mark these, and I think what we might end up doing up here is, rather than put a piece all the way across, though, actually maybe I will, because I do want to weld this properly to the frame, into the sill. So yeah, so we're gonna cut this off. We're gonna cut this off. We're gonna have to put a piece here, a piece all the way across here. We'll bring it. I don't know if we'll bring it straight or bring it. Yeah, maybe we'll bring it straight across. And here, maybe we'll come straight up like that with it there. So let's get started. Putting these, measuring this out and getting some metal cut. Well, so all right, I got these all cut, and what I've done is as I said, I was going to make up this piece here 1x2. What I've done is I've cut some notches into it so that it fits around the crap that's there, and that goes in like that. And then I made these. That's going to fit like that and go to there, right? And then what I'll do is I'll cap the end. I have another one right here for the back. It's going to go like that, and it goes right over top of our little hole that's right there. So I'll be able to countersink a nut into this that the seat will bolt into, right? So the plan here is, once I cap all of this off, is to actually weld it all the way, along here, all the way up in here. I'm going to weld it all the way around here. This will just get filler in there because it's too big for a weld. But I'm going to keep these outriggers in place anyways, and I still need to put another piece here for the seat. So that one will just go straight down. And again, it'll just get well, what you'll call it. It'll get screwed there and clamped, right? So anyways, that's where I'm at right now, and I've got that one cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the car over, and I'm going to build the other side, and I'll bring you back once I've done that. All right, so welded, or at least tacked those into place now, so they're going to be really nice and secure. I still have to put the pieces in here and at the top for the seat, for the front, one of the front bolts, and I need to do something for this there as well. So I think where I'm at right now is, yeah, gonna cut those pieces, and I don't know what I'm gonna do over there for that. Probably, let me think about that for a minute. Okay, I found something. So this was just a test piece that I did on the roll cage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece that's, about, the same thickness, 1 inch here. And then I'll cut it in half. That way, what I'll end up with is like a semicircle here, right? And I'll weld a top and a bottom on it, or at least I'll weld a top on it. Because what I'll need to do is I'll need to drill through from the floor to mark it. That way, when I remove the floor, or remove the frame from the body, or the body from the frame, as the case may be, I'll be able to weld in a captive nut from the back side of that, of these, or not. I don't know, because this one up here, it's halfway. It's like right on this rail. So, I'm likely going to have to use a hole saw and just, mill it out or something and set the nut in and then weld it around and grind it down. But I've got these special nuts. They're the same ones that I used on the seatbelt thing here, and they're like a lock nut, but they don't have plastic in them. They're all metal. So I'm going to use those for the floor, for the seats as well, because you just don't want those bolts, backing out. So yeah, so that's what I've decided I'm gonna do. So let's cut a piece of this and weld a circle onto that, and cut it in half and tack it into place and do those. So we tacked in a couple of these in here over top of the seat mounts. And then I also did this, as you can see. So I did one on each side. Now, the screw hole there, you can sort of see it underneath. It is like kind of in the middle of it. But what I'll end up doing is I'm going to have to put some kind of a spacer anyways. So I can work with that. The other thing I did was I finish welded in and around in here, and on the other side I was missing a little bit around there, as well as here, that I just had a large gap and I never got to it. And then the last thing I did is I capped off these cutouts that we made last time, so that the rear subframe sits properly. Just notice I got to grind this down. The other side's already done. So yeah, so that's all taken care of now. The last thing to do is actually just to finish weld all of these side pieces into place. And yeah, so we're going to have to get this body off the frame again. Oh my God. I'm thinking this is going to be the last time that I got to take the frame off the body. Well, a while back, I bought a tubing bender, and so my friend Brent heard about it, and he picked me up a sticker for it. Even bend, bro? That's awesome. That's the perfect color too. Anyways, let's get back to lowering this car down so that we can take the body off. Okay, so you remember where I said that this is the last time this body is coming off of the frame, right? For you, it was a minute or so ago. For me, it's been about 3 hours worth of welding, and I'll show you what I did here. But now that I have this welded, I still need to drill all the holes for mounting the seats, because I've got special nuts that have to go on, and there is no way I can do that once the body is mounted. So, and of course, because I didn't have the pieces in place, I couldn't mark where the holes were. So here we go again. I'm going to rotate this down. I'm going to move the body on top. I'm not going to bolt it down. I'm just going to position it. I'm going to pound, some marks into these spots, and then we're going to take the body off again. I'm going to drill out the holes, and we're going to weld in the seat nuts. Okay, well, that's they are like spot on. That one I kind of drilled a little bit off, but that's okay because 7 out of 8 are just spot in the right place. So they are all beautiful. I'm really happy with those, and yeah, that's gonna be that's perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna call that just really nice. 7 out of 8 of them are dead center, and one is just a tiny bit off, but that was whatever. I think that was me drilling the hole for it, but it went off center when I was drilling it. All right. Anyway, so hopefully this is the last time that the body is going to go onto the frame, or the last time that it'll have to come off the frame. I think everything else from this point forward is just make do. Yeah, I think we'll just call it make do. If the body is on, that's too bad. I got to work around it. All right. Let's see where we go from here. All right, everyone. That is all the time I've got for this episode. Got a lot done. It's taken a few days to get everything done on and off with the body. Anyway, we are at a good place. So I really appreciate you sticking around. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you get a chance, pop into my profile there and hit Hornetic and grab one of those units to help support the channel. Really appreciate everybody. Thank you.